So during the Breakfast Club's rumor report, Claudia Jordan dropped this update/rumor on Ja Morant. And I'm going to read it verbatim. My sources say that the relative in the car in the back seat had a toy gun in the car. The gun is not real. Okay? Charlemagne, like myself, was skeptical, saying if that was a toy gun, why not say that from the start? Why issue an apology? Thank you, Charlemagne. Correct. So, Brew, this got some traction, and we were debating whether to do this story because it's kind of a rumor. The report was in something called the rumor report, so it's kind of odd. So your reaction?
I'm with you and Charlemagne. In fact, here is that apology from Ja after the second incident that we're talking about. I know I've disappointed a lot of people who have supported me. This is a journey, and I recognize there's more work to do. My words may not mean much right now, but I take full accountability for my actions. I'm committed to continuing to work on myself. If that was a toy, don't you think you would have come out right from the get-go and say, it was a toy? It's a toy gun, okay? I wouldn't be stupid enough to play with a real gun again after I talked to the commissioner and blah, blah, blah. But he didn't do that. And since he didn't do it, I believe it was not a toy gun. Now, if it were a toy, let's just play like it was a toy. First of all, it's incredibly stupid, even if it is a toy, because people don't know that it's fake. Your endorsement deal with Nike's on the line. A suspension from the NBA is on the line. Not to mention, people think you're playing with a real gun if you're in the wrong areas. Or we've even seen people shot by cops with a toy gun. So it's just a stupid thing to do. And it also would bring into question his mental. Like, you're a 23-year-old grown man, and I guess your friends in the back that supposedly had the toy gun are too. Why are you playing with toy guns? Like, that would be ridiculous. It would be juvenile to the nth degree. I will say this, though, Nick, and I believe it was a real gun. If it were a toy, though, as stupid as it was, I don't think the NBA could suspend him. I mean, I guess they could, but I don't think they should. There is no way. And I would scream to the high heavens, and I imagine the Players Association would too. If they suspend a player for having a toy, gun, whatever, it's a toy.
Well, hold up.
There's no way you could suspend. And I would hope these dudes would stand up and say, no, it's a toy.
Hold on. That's, to me, that's kind of stripped of the context of it.
I don't care. It's a toy.
Well, hold on. And again, people are just tuned in halfway through. Bruce said he's healthy skepticism about any of that, but he was saying if it were. I want to also walk down the road of if it were. I actually think, given the context, that might be worse, because we are all assuming that what the gun, real or fake, was held legally. It's not in legal jeopardy here. It's about decision-making, risk, what you told Adam Silver, and your responsibilities to the Grizzlies and the partners of the NBA. So if it's a toy gun, you get, as you alluded to there, none of the, listen, I'm not a gun person, but gun folks, I know, believe there's a level of protection that comes with carrying your own pistol. You get none of that with a toy. You do get all the risk. You do get all the risk of someone like we have talked about saying, oh, look at this wannabe gangster. Right. And so you get all the risk, none of the protection. That seems like a loss. Also, if you met with Adam Silver, had a conversation with Adam Silver, I've learned my lesson, I'll be better, all of that. And then you do the exact same thing, except, here's the thing. I'll leak a month later through sources. This thing that everybody's freaking out about at a press conference about the finals about, it was plastic. How does that help anything? Because he's not, the problem here is not Ja committed this crime. The problem is Ja is acting a fool.
Right.
That's the problem.
But you can suspend somebody, or should suspend and cost somebody millions of dollars for being stupid?
Well, here's the thing. I think that's what, whether it's toy or real, I think that's what they're doing. Because there is no crime.
If it's real, it's a lot different. Well, a real gun just brings dangers to even yourself.
A toy gun doesn't bring dangers to yourself unless, of course, someone with a real gun sees it. Right. And so I just find this entire thing outrageous. And I also find, because I don't believe that Claudia Jordan and the folks on the Breakfast Report were making this up out of whole cloth. I do believe that someone in Ja's circle told her this. Now, whether that's the story they're going with to the NBA on or not, I don't know. They're just doing a trial balloon.
So do you think, first of all, what does Ja's camp mean? All right, he reportedly stopped following his best friend, Devontae Pack, who's the guy with the Instagram Live. Stop following him on social media. So are they even tight now? And is what she said, his camp, is it the immediate camp or is it just some guys on the periphery? I would be stunned if this is Ja's defense, if indeed it's a real gun. Like, they're actually going to say, oh, it's fake, it was a toy?
But I think, Wilds, whether we take this report at face value or not, the other thing hanging over this is the words from Adam Silver when he said, and the other things we've uncovered in our investigation.
Yeah, I don't know.
New information.
And new information. And then also, to your point, Brew, and to Charlamagne's point, if you watch the snippet from the Breakfast Club, then what was that apology about? Now, the apology was vague and somewhat nebulous, but it wasn't, I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
It was clearly, I need to get better about the actions I take, and that to me applies no matter how potent that weapon was or was not. Like, would it matter if it was loaded or not loaded? Like, to me, we're going down a path that kind of misses the point.
So I view this from 10,000 feet as a product of an information vacuum. That Adam Silver says they've got a report and they've decided to hold on to it in agreement with the Players Association because it would be unfair to overshadow the Miami and Denver. So the question I have for you, Brew, we're in the media, do you think that's going to work? Because once the finals are over and the NBA is up here, I think it's an odd decision to say, all right, we're here, everybody's happy, and now here's the suspension, here's this Ja report, and here's no news in the calendar. We're starting to get into a light time in the sports calendar outside of baseball, regular season baseball, to knock that out of the front pages. I feel like there's going to be a lot more attention on it by holding this info rather than be like, it's done, it's completed, we've made our decision. Here it is.
Look, I do agree with the decision not to announce it during the finals, because I do think it will overshadow the NBA finals to at least a game or so. If you do it after the finals, yeah, it's going to be big news. It was going to be huge news anyway. And then you got the draft coming up. Yep. And then you go into free agency. So I think I think it'd be fun.
I think the mistake, I thought that press conference, I think Adam Silver, Commissioner Silver, has done a lot of really good things. I also think he's had some weak points on certain things. I thought that press conference was very poorly handled from before it started.
Why?
Because his plan was to say that, right? His plan was to say, we've made our decision, we're not telling you what it is. That to me is a ridiculous contention. It's a ridiculous, and it reminded me of, like, if you have a kid and it's like, oh, you're in trouble. I'll tell you how much trouble when you wake up in the, like, huh? Like, no. Like, if he didn't want to overshadow the finals, then I think the answer has to be we are continuing to gather information. There's a lot here. We're not just investigating that. We're investigating everything now surrounding Ja, and we hope to have an answer for him and the Grizzlies as soon as possible. Instead, he had these ominous things of things we've uncovered, gravely concerned. Talk to you about it in 2 weeks. How about it? I just thought it was poorly done. And I think it does, like you said, create this information vacuum where if they have the ruling, I think they should have just announced it, or, and maybe this is bad by my own morals, just lied and been like, we don't have it yet.
Like you don't
and you know what I mean? We
You're
don't have it yet. We're still investigating. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.